And welcome in. I just got the cue off of camera one over here. Welcome in. Today, the 29th day of October 2018. It's your Monday. No rainy days getting me down today. I'm just proud as punch that we had yesterday a high near 85, today near 83, tomorrow 81. And I hate to tell you guys, but Tricks and Treating is going to be extremely wet, 100% chance for rain and thunder bumps around the area. So y'all be real careful. If you got the little tricks and treaters out there, the ghouls and the goblins, just watch for them, okay? And if you're driving, don't wear a mask. First off, it looks weird. And second off, it impairs your vision. So there you go. Welcome in Strategies for a Living. Tom Pace sitting in, your guest host strategist for David McMillan. And I am honored and proud to do this every Monday, except when we're off here for the holiday things. So what happened today? The New Orleans Saints, St. Drew. I think they're going to name some circle in New Orleans after St. Drew Brees. 30-20 over the Minnesota Vikings. Yeah, they had that miracle in Minnesota or whatever. Well, it was time, so they did it. 6-1 the Saints, and going against the 8-0 Los Angeles Rams next week. And the Dallas Cowboys played tonight. Now, and coming up here in just a minute before we get to our state representative from Bossier, District 9, Louisiana State Representative Dodie Horton in studio. Oh, look at her. You can get a beautiful two-shot of this lady. Let me tell you, she is just gorgeous. What?
You're smooth.
No, you are smooth.
No, I look in the mirror. You're too kind.
No, let me tell you, I look in the mirror, it cracks one time. So anyway, we're getting ready to have Miss Dodie on mic here. And let me tell you who's going to be on the news desk. Sarah Patterson with Bipsy News coming up at 12:30, immediately following Strategies for a Living. Sarah Patterson and Danny Foots. Now, I'm not going to say anything that's a wrong plural. It should be Danny Feet. I'm not going to say that. But Danny Foots and Sarah Patterson going to be on the news desk live right here on Suddenlink TV. All right. Dodie, welcome in.
Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor. I've never done this before.
Well, now you can say not only, and because you're familiar with Bipsy.
Oh, absolutely.
Chancellor Rick
Who
Bateman.
Is it? Oh, yes.
I know. And the fastest and the biggest enrollment in the state of Louisiana.
It's amazing what they do here.
I'm telling you.
We're so blessed.
We are. And to have this beautiful television production studio,
so professional,
complete with cameras and the teleprompter things. We didn't have that back in the old days.
No, Bipsy helped grow our workforce for the film industry here in Louisiana. A lot of people that leave here, they're employed with the film industry, making really good living, and I'm grateful for that.
Well, I am too, and I'm grateful that soon, in the next, I don't know how many months, they're going to name the gymnasium after our good friend. You know, the good friend, Billy Wayne Montgomery, coach.
Well, he was instrumental in getting Bipsy here. He was instrumental in laying the foundation for what Bipsy is today. So I thank the powers to be here for honoring him in such a lasting way.
Absolutely, and former Chancellor Tom Carlton, great man.
Oh, absolutely. They were a team.
They were a team. They were.
Yes,
But so now Chancellor Rick Bateman has picked up the ball and run with it.
Absolutely. With each chancellor, it seems like it just gets the service just that they supply to our people just grow and grow. They're always focused on workforce, what the demand is, how can we help people get to work, and not just get to any job, but a good paying job. It's just so impressive. And I'm so grateful to be associated with it in any way.
I'm so proud of you. And by the way, if you're going to follow a football analogy, I say give Rick the ball. He'll take it over the goal line. That's my analogy.
Or he'll put a good team together that
He will put a good team, just like Coach O. Go Tigers.
That's right. He's the only coach I remember in my lifetime that ended. I don't understand a word he says, except when he says, go Tigers.
That's it.
And I love it. Yeah.
Now, let me go back to you. I'm looking, we're at 5 after right now, 5 after Central Daylight Saving Time here in the Bossier Parish Community College studio, 345. It's Building D upstairs. And as we look out over this expansive campus, you know, I think to myself, because I do that sometimes, I'll say, self, what is it that makes Doty run? And one of those things is you have been blessed having gone to various schools in and around Shreveport and Bossier. Who do you credit with your skills and your desire?
Well, you know, I think God always gives us a heart for whatever service and purpose that He has laid out for us. My mother, when growing up, and my father, a Shreveport policeman, she was a teacher, but graduated from University of Arkansas. My daddy is Bobby Miller, my mother, Jerry. She's 88 now. She'd get mad at me for saying that.
Well, no, we didn't say that, Miss Bobby. Pay no attention.
But anyway, my mother told me there's not anything I couldn't do, and I chose to believe her. And she, you know, enabled me to always believe no matter what the world threw at me, because you are the best you can be. Nobody is you. And I just, you know, and God just, you know, everywhere that I'd worked and everything I've gone through in life, it prepares you for the next mission and the next. And being a legislative assistant for Henry Burns for 8 years, and that was a ministry for us, and enabled me to take care of constituent issues. That's when it put me on solid ground on my district, on our district, and how we all feel. About 89% of us totally agree on life and issues, and why we support a republic. Less government intrusion in your life, less taxes, let people have the opportunity to succeed. And it's a district that I'm blessed to be a part of, to live in, have for over 42 years.
Wait a minute, 42 years?
Yes, my husband and his
Gary?
My husband Gary, retired Shreveport firefighter. He and his family were some of the founding families of the Halton area. And so he's lived there his whole life, and we've been married over 42 years.
Wait a minute, no, wait.
So,
hold. You've been married over 42 years?
Yes.
You are just a child. You don't look like...
I just love that, Tom.
No, I mean,
I'm
you
pretty
don't.
old.
No, you're not. You're only as old as a number that you think. And I feel like
so we could say 29?
Yeah, 29.
I'm not having any more birthdays anyway.
No, I'm not either. And even though I'd be 71 and soon to be 72 in March.
I can't believe that either. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, I know my wife said, oh, you're more like 80.
No,
but
not at all.
No.
You're everywhere.
Yeah, well, you are
Your
too.
Your energy level is out of the roof.
Well, you know what? It takes energy to do what you do as a legislator, as a mom, and one that works for the community. So you don't just, it's not a 9-to-5 job, is it?
No, it's you're always working and listening, and I want to glorify God by the way I serve District 9, and that's honestly, openly. I want, whenever I'm in session, I've been under the worst pressure I've ever thought I'd be in my entire life. We're there 5.5 to 6 months, and I want to walk them through it with me. So I always let them know what's going on. This is what I'm being asked to vote for. How do you feel about it? Because if I don't ask, they can't tell. And that's another reason why I have the Your Vote app. If they download the Your Vote app, all one word, it's free to my constituents, only in District 9. If they download that, and then I can put poll questions out and ask them for any given subject, and I give them the choices that I'm asked to make. And it's just amazing how helpful that is. And again, I'm accountable. I'm just a regular person representing regular people like me, and I just want to honor them and not embarrass them in any way.
You mentioned that. I've seen many posts on your website. How important now is the internet, the World Wide Web, Facebook, things like that, in getting immediate feedback from your constituents?
It's critical to my service. I don't want to serve to do what I want to do. It's not about me. It's a job. It's a position to serve the people who live in the district. And when I go to Baton Rouge, I never forget who I am, where I came from, and what I'm there to do. That's to stay focused on the issues that District 9 is passionate about. And that's what my voice reflects and my votes reflect.
Okay, I've got a couple of minutes. I already looked down, he just showed 2. It was not like there's T for 2 or anything. I know what that is. And so...
We got to pay attention to it, though.
Yes, we do. It's almost like when the governor calls you all together. And we'll get to that in a minute. I'll tell you what, we're going to try and take a break. He said somewhere around 12-ish. So we're getting real close to that. Here's the deal. You want to stay in for the remainder of this broadcast because I've got a secret about Miss Doty.
Uh-oh.
And I'll tease it. She's here by the grace of God.
Amen.
He almost called her home. A very emotional, almost life-taking moment. We're going to find out when that occurred, how it occurred, and why she is here by the grace of God. I'm Tom Pace, your guest strategist over here at Strategies for Living at Bossier Parish Community College, BIPSI's Telecommunications, room 345. And I'll just tell you that one of the things that's important to me, we don't just bring on people that have knowledge, that are involved in this community. We bring on people that have a heart, that believe in what the good Lord has commanded. So she is one of those that I would call a guest strategist too. We'll be talking more with Louisiana State Representative Doty Horton, District 9, Bossier City, as Strategies for a Living live from the BIPSI Telecommunications Building, room 345, rolls on. So stand by. Going to break. Right back.
My son is a handsome young man, like a movie star. There's no limit to what he can do. I don't know why he would ruin himself with alcohol. When I think about the happy boy he used to be and how sad his life is now, it breaks my heart. I love him as much as I ever did, maybe more, but I don't understand why this is happening. My therapist recommended I go to Al-Anon family groups. He said Al-Anon members have lived through the same kinds of things that are happening to my family. I didn't want to go to Al-Anon, and I didn't want anyone to know how difficult it's been. But I'm glad I went. Is someone's drinking breaking your heart? You might be surprised at what you can learn in an Al-Anon family group from people just like you. Call 1-888-4-AL-ANON or go to alanon.org.
When a counselor asked how much my husband drinks, I said, not that much. I don't know why I said that. He always drank too much. But I guess I'm so used to keeping it a secret that I didn't tell the truth to myself or anyone else. My husband has drinks with friends after work. He has a couple of drinks at home with dinner and a few more while we watch TV. Pretty soon he's shouting at me and blaming me for all of his problems. I just can't take it anymore. A counselor recommended Al-Anon family groups. She said Al-Anon members have had experiences just like mine, and they would explain how Al-Anon is helping them. I didn't want to go to Al-Anon, but I'm sure glad I did. Is someone's drinking breaking your heart? You might be surprised at what you can learn at an Al-Anon family group from people just like you. Call 1-888-4-AL-ANON or go to alanon.org.
Back Strategies for a Living on this beautiful Monday, October the 29th, 2018. Tom Pace, the host of Strategies for Living. If you know me, you know I also have a website, shrevetalk.com, and you can go to that. Also, I do the Talk of the Town. But today, because of a good friend of mine named David McMillan, who's been here for many, many years that I've known, David said, look, I do my radio show, and we might as well give him the props. He does a radio show on Keel now, 7 to 8 o'clock every night on 710 Keel, called Strategies for Living. He said, Tom, I can't serve all masters. Can you do this show for me? And I said it would be my honor. And so welcome in Miss Doty Horton, Louisiana State Representative, District 9, Bossier City. And I teased this going to break, Dodie, and this is true. You're here by the grace of God.
Yes, sir.
And I heard about it, I read about it, I prayed about it. Tell everybody
so much.
what happened.
Well, I believe it was 7 years ago in June. My husband and I were out at our camp at Lake Bistineau, and we were trying to move a boat because they were going to lower the lake. And whenever we were pulling it, somehow it just dropped, and it hit just a little part of my head. It was so insignificant, I didn't remember it.
So it was kind of literally a bump on your head.
Yeah,
huh?
just a little graze, and so after that happened, for 3.5 weeks, I started having headaches, and they got worse and worse. And then at the end of 3.5 weeks, it was so bad that my husband said, "You are going to the doctor." And so when I went to the doctor, they did a CAT scan and saw that when it had grazed me, it made a blood vessel form, and then over the 3.5 weeks, it had ruptured and filled my brain up, with blood, and moved my brain over about 1/4 of an inch. And so they checked me into the hospital, weren't going to do emergency surgery, and Dr. Guthakonda came and visited me at Bossier, Willis-Knighton, and told me they were going to transfer me to LSU Med Center at the time is what it was, and that's where they were going to do the surgery. And it was about 9:30 at night at that time, and I asked him, I said, "Dr. Guthakonda, it's been a long day. Would you prefer to wait till in the morning when you're fresh?" And he said, "Miss Horton, you don't have it tomorrow." I said, "Let's go."
So he said, literally,
Literally,
you don't have a tomorrow.
That's what he said. And so we went, and God just really miraculously healed me, and I'm just so grateful.
So literally, and we're not trying to,
No.
put a scare into anybody, but you just can't play around with something that you might think insignificant, a bump
Right.
on the head.
Yes, and after the surgery, my husband and I kept racking our brains. When did it happen? When did it? And after about 3 days in recovery, it finally hit him. Oh my gosh, I know when.
That was
And
whenever
that's-
you hit your head, bumped your head.
Yes, and so it's not anything that you would have thought anything would have came from, but I try to tell people, don't wait. Dr. Guthakonda said most people don't live past the first or second day.
Wait a minute.
With that type of...
They don't live past the first or second day with something of the nature that you
True.
had?
Yes. And so I'm just been blessed. I have, and so I'm grateful.
Where do you go to church?
Well, we whenever I'm in town, we go to First Baptist Halton, and but right now we are visiting. We're in church in Logansport. We're there to support a certain ministry. It's Freedom Missions, and but after our time there is through, then we'll come back and go to.
So would it be fair to say, you stop and think about this, would it be fair to say that you are a woman of convictions and faith?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I am. A lot of people think I'm unmovable. I don't compromise. I need to learn how to be more pragmatic. But when we're, be a centrist, be part of the centrist movement. And when you're sitting in the Capitol in the House chamber, you have a red button and a green button. So I tell people, choose a side. Unfortunately, you have to choose a side these days.
They don't have a
There's no
multicolor?
purple, there's no multicolor. You're going to choose a side. Well, I'm on the side of District 9. District 9 would never ask me to compromise my core beliefs because they won't. And we have the same ones. We worship together, raise our children together, now grandchildren. We're one heartbeat. And I love everyone there. You can't please everyone, but I seek to, and I just want to serve the people who elected me, and I want to do it in a way that's effective for their behalf. And we feel what's good for District 9 is great for Louisiana. I want a new Louisiana. I didn't want to be elected to go do the same old thing, to throw good, hard-earned tax dollars after bad, failed policy.
We wound up in it, just as a fact, after everything all said and done, what was it, 4.5 cents?
Well, 0.45.
0.45, yeah, there you go. But at the same point, at that time, it allegedly bailed us out, kept us from going under the fiscal cliff. Now we learn that was just, a shot in the dark, really. That money is in excess. Is that right?
Well, it has been reported that we do have a surplus, and the reasons that we have that right now is debatable. I hear several different reasons. We haven't even started to collect our taxes from remote internet sales, to my knowledge. That'll start in January. But I stand on solid ground when Louisiana has had enough money. We have enough. We just need to change the way we serve. Louisiana has a resistance to change. We hadn't updated our service delivery model for the Department of Health since 1932 when Huey Long implemented it. That's when the Medicaid program came into being. So we get more money for the Department of Health per capita of any state in the nation with the absolute worst outcome. It's not our employees, it's not our people, it's the failed policies that we need to update. We need to adopt best practices. We can serve everyone effectively and efficiently, but we've got to have a will and desire to change.
Okay, if someone wishes to get in touch with you, and we know that you're on the Facebook thing and all that, but you do have a legislative assistant who
absolutely.
is just awesome. And
she is.
Tell everybody her name, a phone number that they can reach you.
Amanda Nottingham is my legislative assistant friend. I've adopted her as another daughter. Fantastic, what a blessing, a heart for ministry. And our office number is 318-949-2463. And our email address is hortond@legis.la.gov. Please, if you need us, call us. We help people that are outside of the district.
I have seen that.
We just want to serve, and whoever God sends our way, we'll do our best to help.
Veterans especially.
Oh, my father was a Marine in the Korean conflict and got a Purple Heart. Our veterans, a student asked me, why is it offensive if we do not stand and honor our veterans? And I said, because we stand in honor of their service. I said, you couldn't be here answering me that question if it weren't for our veterans, putting their self out there for you. We honor them. We stand and honor our veterans when the national anthem is played. And I have not watched NFL football since they have shown people kneeling. We've got to stand, honor our country, honor those who fought for it or are fighting for it now. And Louisiana is a military-friendly state, and each year we improve that. And so please, I want everybody to know how grateful we are. We are a grateful state and a grateful nation.
And as a Navy veteran myself,
Thank you, Tom.
I will tell you that, albeit I was in for a year and Dad got cancer, I had to get out. But the bottom line is, let me tell you, when I raised my right hand and swore allegiance to the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, then all of a sudden everything else goes away. I hate to tell you, if I would have been shipped over to Vietnam, I would have been there. And there wouldn't have been any questions asked, meaning, oh, can I take a knee? No. You've got to do what you need to do. Now,
thank you, Tom.
Now we're wrapping up here with our fourth, our district, Louisiana State Representative District 9, Dodie Horton. I was about to say fourth, and it made me think of 4th District Congressman Mike Johnson.
Yeah, please vote for Mike. He's phenomenal. We are so blessed to have someone of his character and in the Congress representing us. Mike Johnson's a class act all the way.
Yes, he is.
Yes.
Miss Dodie, we got a couple of minutes. Kind of take us home, as they say. Take us home, country roads. What do you think that you need to tell your constituents that is the most important thing today? We've seen terrorist bombing. We have seen bad things happen at a Pittsburgh synagogue. Just total insanity, can I say that? Mm-hmm. What is important, and what do you want to share from your heart with the people?
Don't let those who hate draw you into hate. Stand up for God and family and country. Vote. Please vote. We have to beg people to vote. It makes no sense to me. If you feel that our country is going in the right direction with our president and Republicans, vote Republican. Keep the House. If you're a real American, do not waste your vote. Go out and take it. Vote and stand on what you say you believe.
All right. Well, I just got the wrap, and it's not one of those taco wraps either. I want to thank everybody. State Representative Dodie Horton, District 9, Bossier City. Thank her for being here, standing by Sarah Patterson, Danny Foots at the Bossier News Desk, the Bipsy News Desk. Thanks to Gary Chatelain, Rick Shelton, Joey Hester, and a whole bunch others, Preston Friedley, all watching on the Facebook video feed. Till next week, and I'm working on a very special group of ladies that if you believe in the women having more power, you don't want to miss the show next week. Till then, blue skies, green lights, God love you, drive safe, and remember, help your neighbor. God love you.
Amen.
Standing by, BIPC News next.